Gemini speaks, Gemini speaks, boom, 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 boom. So, man, oh man, oh man. Hello, hello, hello. My people, what's going on? What's going on? Well, some of you might know already. I'm a vegan. And it's been a moment that's not easy. Not easy at all. The good news is I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to being a vegan. I have made like 3 dishes in the last week or 2. It's only been a week or 2. And they've been very tasty. I'm very pleased. Very pleased. So I'm encouraged to continue on this journey. Now, I did have one dish that I was really not pleased with. I had a craving for some macaroni and cheese. You know that I'm not eating cheese, thus that I'm a vegan. But Trader Joe's, which is a great place for shopping for food. We all know this. Well, we all should know this. In there. Not everyone has a Trader Joe's in their neighborhood, but I do. I said, well, let me try it. Let me try this vegan macaroni and cheese. And in fact, I have been to Trader Joe's many times looking for vegan pizza. They don't have vegan pizza. In fact, they don't have vegan macaroni and cheese in the frozen food section either. But I'm walking around, because you got to go through in and out all the aisles just in case you want something you don't know you want. Lo and behold, vegan macaroni and cheese is sitting there right in front of me. Just saying, buy me, buy me, buy me. Try me, try me, try me. So here I am, looking at it. It's looking at me. I pick it up. It's going home. It's going home with me. One little caveat. It was not cheap. It was a little carton like that, a little pint-sized carton. I don't even know if it was a pint, actually, for like $5. But I bought it anyway because I'm like, I got to do something because I want some macaroni and cheese. And the vegan cheese, the normal vegan cheese, not yummy. But I thought maybe they knew something I didn't know yet. So I was like, I'll try it. Here we go. It was tasteless. It was not yummy. Now, I could tell that they really tried to season it well because it had like a weird sort of nice seasoning, but it wasn't cheesy. And the consistency of the pasta was mushy, which I kind of knew was going to happen. So I added some freshly made pasta, some macaroni noodles to it. Didn't help. Well, it didn't help the taste, but it definitely helped the consistency. So you didn't hear it from me, but I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend the mac and cheese from Trader Joe's in their deli section, I believe that's where it was. I wouldn't recommend it, but go right ahead. Try it. You might like it. I didn't. I still am experimenting with different things, so I think I've given up on the vegan cheese. If you know what cheese tastes like, they might have gotten the consistency down, sort of. It's more like an American cheese experience. But it's expensive too. It's just not worth it. I'm not even going to try with vegan cheese anymore. But the vegan items that do work out a lot more is the vegan sausage, whether it be the breakfast sausage or the different types of flavored sausages. I don't like the hot dogs. It's the consistency. If you've really had a meat hot dog, you can't switch to vegan hot dogs and expect there to be any recognition in your mind that you just had a hot dog. Mushy, not yummy. Which is exactly the reason why I didn't like turkey hot dogs when I was eating meat. They have that other consistency that's just not the same as a beef hot dog. The other thing that's quite successful, in my opinion, are the vegan pot pies. So the meat inside is vegetarian substitute meat, which, by the way, I kick to the side. I taste it. I have a little pieces here and there perhaps, but I don't eat the meat. And actually, I don't eat the meat in normal pot pie. I kick the meat to the side. So whether it be beef or chicken or turkey, I'm really not interested in meat. Something about the frozen meat when they put it in the pie and you heat it up again, it still tastes like it was frozen meat. It's not cute. So I can still very much enjoy pot pies. I only eat them maybe like once a month, if that. It's usually the consistency of the meat substitute that's the problem, not just the taste. I have been making a number of stir fries. Now, this is a little bit of a moving backwards if you haven't seen my video about eating by my blood type. But in addition to being a vegan, I'm also eating by my blood type. So there's some vegetable choices that I make that are specific to that. So I did a wonderful stir fry with turmeric and a bunch of other spices. That was asparagus, fresh asparagus, and corn. Delicious. Okay, over rice. Another dish, I made vegetarian sausage, the one that has the roasted tomatoes in it. I think they're roasted tomatoes. I could be wrong. Could have been peppers, maybe. Something red. And I chopped that up, and I sauteed some shallots. I sauteed some canned string beans with it. I'm going to get back to that in a second. Corn, 3 cloves of garlic. All of that is sauteed together. So there's the corn, the vegetarian sausage, the shallots, the garlic, a little bit of white wine. Now this is the thing about string beans from a can. Tasteless. Tasteless, tasteless, tasteless. And the texture actually isn't that great. However, it's not the texture that's the problem. It's the fact that they're tasteless and watery in general. But not so. I was able, in mixing that together with some garlic powder, lots of it, some onion powder, lots of it, and the turmeric, which was mixed together with the fresh garlic, 3 cloves, 3 big cloves, the shallots, which I think I used 2 big cloves of shallots, and shiitake mushrooms. After I stirred all that together and I sauteed it with a little bit of butter and olive oil, you wouldn't have even known that those string beans came from a can and had no taste. So I'm telling you, eating string beans out of a can are still possible. Because normally I have to have my string beans fresh, and they're not actually, my stomach can tolerate them, but they tolerate vegetables that are more cooked down. So that's why I tried them in a can, and it worked out. My new life is a vegan. So now that I've explained those 2 dishes to you, my new life as a vegan has really started well, considering, right? Because the convenience of being a vegetarian and or a vegan is not so much. There's not a lot of eating out that's going to be going on. Most places that you go and foods that you may order are going to have cheese or meat. And the choice you're going to get, there's going to be a limited choice of fish that you can order, right? It's going to usually be salmon, shrimp, and then some seafoods such as oyster and crab and all that stuff. I don't really eat that so much. For my diet, for my palate, that is not really an option. I do like fried oysters, but I'm trying not to eat so much fried foods. So that's not something that I would eat very often, if I eat it at all. 3 times a year maybe. So that's my vegan journey thus far. I thought I would share it with you. Thought I would check in with you, let you know how it's going. I don't miss meat. Not yet. But right now I don't miss meat. And right now, I really don't miss cheese because it was causing me so much discomfort that I kind of had a love-hate relationship with it. So I love the way it tastes, but I hated the way it made me feel. And that left me not eating cheese very often, as it was. One thing I will say, I haven't been eating very much. I have somewhat of a loss of appetite. I have been losing some weight, not a lot, a little bit. Food has become, it was already like at the low end of my priorities, but now it's barely on the list. I think it's like the last thing I think about, because unless my stomach reminds me that it's eating itself and I need to put food in it. Other than that, it's really become so unimportant. When I do address it, I have to cook something. That cooking something is the best solution to a vegan diet versus eating out. Now, if you live someplace where there are a number of restaurants that can facilitate a vegan diet, I guess that's helpful. I told you that I'm originally from New York. If you didn't know that, you know it now. There would be droves of places I could eat as a vegetarian, probably droves of places I could eat as a vegan. So my diet is a little complicated, a little bit. But like I said, so far, so good. So good, so far. And I'm glad I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I'm going through. This is what I'm going through. I'm getting through what I'm going through. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for coming. This is Gemini Speaks, and I will see you again soon. I will see you again soon. Peace. Gemini Speaks, Gemini Speaks. Boom, 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 boom.